Introducing to you today's guest, Charlotte Donoghue, a very strong and driven businesswoman who's built and ran multiple businesses from a teenager and launched her most successful business, Say It With Diamonds, a jewelry company that she founded 7 years ago at the same time as becoming a mother.
We started with £250 each, myself and my business partner. Whatever I want, I'd sort of get because I won't have it any other way, whether that be money, success.
I'm sure the majority of you know how tough it is raising a child and also how tough it is building a new company from the ground up. So imagine doing both at the same time.
They call themselves influencers, they get everything for nothing and they charge £5 plus for pressing a button. No, in life, to be a successful person, you can't just blame other people. So sometimes if something goes wrong, you've actually got to look in the mirror and think, right, okay, what have I done?
Charlotte, great to have you on the podcast, first female, and I actually forgot that you're pregnant as well. So that's another positive.
Well, that's a typical man. I think my partner's forgot I'm pregnant because his life hasn't changed and I just carry on as normal. But yeah, it's great to be on. Thank you for having me and thank you for asking me.
No probs. How you feeling? You went on a bit of a walk to get it, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yeah. I'm so bad with directions. I'm going to have all these men listening now going, oh, typical woman, typical woman. I'm so...
Until we start getting into the business.
Of course, yeah. When it gets to the important stuff, a woman knows how to get things done. So we'll have all the sexists on now. But
it will strike the bait.
Yeah, I parked round the corner and yeah, but anyway, I'm here and I'm sure I've got some steps in, so there we go.
Yeah. And you said you're still doing gym and everything, still working out.
Yeah, so
there's actually a really sick gym over there, you know. In the building, yeah.
I've told you, I'm in Manchester. My visits to Manchester are few and far between.
Limited.
Because of the rain. And it was raining
and the
just
people.
on the walk around.
And the people?
No, not the people. I'm not saying that on this podcast. That was just the people that day in St. Anne's Square.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
But what were we saying then? Get the gym. So I do Pilates, Reform Me. It's a Pilates studio in Liverpool. So I do that 4 times a week. And nice. I do 2 boxing PTs a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you literally do it all. So you've got your business, you're pregnant, you get your exercising in.
It's
so it'll be good to go into how you do the balance. Yeah, that's a lot of questions that some people have asked, especially women, about how they balance that, and sort of the kids that we'll get into later.
Yeah. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But okay, so for the people that don't know you, you are Liverpool based, from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a company, Say It With Diamonds, jewelers.
Yeah.
You started in 2016.
Yeah.
So about seven years old.
Yes. Yeah. 6. Yeah.
And you started, this is like amazing story. You started with just 5 necklaces.
Yeah.
And now you've turned the company into a multi-million-pound company.
Absolutely, yeah. So we started with £250 each, myself and my business partner. Really? And then we just kept putting the money back in. And we started it in the April. And then it just had the baby in the March. Started the business in the April, as you do. And then no maternity leave. People keep saying to me now, when are you going on maternity leave? And I'm like...
no such thing as maternity leave for an entrepreneur, is it?
But now, we're very lucky because the place where I'm at in the business now, you know, I can... This is my work, you know, to form a promotion or whatever. I can sit on the couch and work off my phone.
Yeah.
So it's like we've tied to an office. I can work from anywhere and I'm very lucky, really.
Yeah. So going back, just before you started, what were you doing before that?
So I've done a candle business. So I've always worked for myself back to...
have you ever had like a job?
I worked in the bank once for about 6 months and I absolutely hated it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that like, straight from uni or school?
Well, I'd done... so I had a market stall. People used to sell, you know, when people used to sell fake DVDs.
Yeah.
And someone come and said, like, work for us. And then I was just like, wow. I've never had them fake. I remember someone skipped me once because I called it a pirate copy. That wasn't the thing to call them. They were called like rip-off or black DVDs.
Yeah. No, I used to call them pirates.
Yeah. But then my mum was like, no, they're no good. We don't have, you know, we're not having them. You ruin the movie, etc., etc. But I was selling them to people. And then this one day, you just get like...
This before the bank?
This is when I was about 14.
Oh, right.
You get like 30 quid cash in your hand. But at the time, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Then one day the police come and everyone started running and I was just like, oh, God, give me strength. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting my own pyjama store, selling pyjamas. And
you've been through it all, haven't you?
Oh, of course. And I'm a natural seller.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting there one day and I just wish and hope someone would come and buy the whole stall. And then they'd come and they'd say, oh, I need pyjamas, the child's 2 to 3, and to say I'd only had 3 to 4, I'd be like, oh, these are really small sizes.
Yeah.
And in the next breath, I'd be like, oh, the really big sizes, just whatever I needed to get the sale and to get gone. So that was working for myself. And then I got a beauty shop and done hairdressing. Then I think I worked in the bank before that when I'd left school.
Right.
Then I got the beauty shop. I just hated the bank.
Yeah.
And then I remember, you know what they used to make you do? This is in Barclays Bank. Right, how bad is this?
Just came from there as well.
Who's just come from
No,
there?
I just came from there.
Well, do you know what they used to make you do? I couldn't get my head around it. So they'd say you got paid 9 till 5 or whatever, 9 till 5:30, whatever the hours were. But they wanted you in 8:45 for team meeting every day. And I was like...
15 minutes before?
15 minutes before. And I was like,
that's not too bad.
I was like, how'd you get paid for that? And they were like, no. So then, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I went to get my eyebrows tattooed in my dinner. And it took 2 hours instead of an hour. When I come back, you would have thought I just murdered someone. And they were like, you can't just do that. I said, excuse me, all them 15 minutes. I've come in for the last 4 months and you're telling me I can't have an hour back. No, that's not how it works. So that was the end of my job.
Nice. Well, that's interesting. And that's something that I asked on this podcast quite a lot. Is so you was starting businesses when you was like 14. And I normally ask people that come on, what kind of ventures did they have in like their childhood, teenage kind of years, to be like, was they like business minded at that point? So you was.
I'll always.
What was the the drive? What was the motive? Why did you want to do that rather than just be like a normal teenager that does whatever?
I like nice things, and you know, back to what we've just been saying before. You know, money isn't the answer to everything, but it sure helps. And then my real drive come 6 years ago. Because when my little girl was born. Yeah. So I went to normal school. In fact, I left in year 9. I got 5 C's in my GCSEs, and I didn't revise. I didn't really go to school. So if I would have actually put my mind to it, I would have been amazing. Yeah. Anyway, when I had my little girl, I didn't want that for her. I would always do well in life. I can talk to anybody. And I'm just that nature, that way out. But for my little girl, I didn't want that. And there was a drive in me. So what's important to me and what made me start this, start making serious money was the school fees. So people agree with
did they go private?
Yeah.
Was that really important to you that they go private?
That's like the most important. That's my most important bill. If I couldn't pay, I'd walk. If I couldn't pay for my car, as long as I pay for the
walk as long as you can go to the private school.
Exactly, and it's what's important to me. And sometimes I look at people and I see, the children are all in these designer clothes, and then they go, "What? You pay for you pay for private school?" And I just think, so could you. If you didn't, it's not even as much as people think. You've got to pay for the nursery anyway. Yeah. So you've got the ball rolling. So it's absolutely essential for me, and then at least I can hold my hands up and say I'd give me kids the best start. My little girl's class is 11 kids in the class, 22 kids in the year, 11 in the class. Now don't get me wrong, it'll grow as the school progresses, but I can see she's miles ahead. When not all kids, but you can just tell. So what do you think it is about private school that is so important to you? Because that question's come up on this podcast as well. Private school, public school. Obviously, they all say private. What do you think the actual reason is? Just more closer attention to your kid? So, for example, my little girl reads to the teacher every single day. They get homework every single night. Now, some people would think I couldn't be bothered with that. Myself included, I think sometimes. Tell a lie, they have Wellbeing Wednesday, and that means they don't get homework. And sometimes, when you're coming in and you're just like, oh, thank God they've got no homework tonight. But she reads, as I say, she reads every single day. The spellings, for example, they're not generic for the class, they're individual for the child. That's a good point. Small things like that. And people say, some people decide to put them in from high school only. And I just think, let's just give them the best start. And if you can, great. Not to say state school isn't good. I think if I had to choose, I'd prefer to do private when they're younger. And then if I couldn't do private, I prefer it that way rather than public first and then private. Absolutely. I prefer private and then
public?
Because they could if they get private when they're younger, they can get in a free academy school when they're older, like Blue Coat. It's one of the best in the country.
But I feel like school gets a little less relevant once you get older. You start just doing
yeah.
stuff that you don't really need.
And what's good about most of the privates, they split them up, because I know myself, you give me boys and they make you be silly and, you know, whatever it may be. Yeah.
So going back, so you had the drive when you was in your teenage years, 14, 15, more so to buy the things that you want. So I'm guessing you didn't come from, you know, a wealthy background. Parents didn't have...
My mum and my dad, they worked really hard. My dad he was a taxi driver and he used to put the market stall up for me. My mum, you know, my mum is just like superwoman. I've got a Down syndrome sister. She's my twin, actually. And when she was 16, she was already obviously mentally handicapped, but then she became physically. She got a blood clot on the main artery in her spine. Ended up being paralysed.
Right.
From the waist down. She still's catheterised now. So my mum had all that to deal with. Then we lost my dad when I was just 21. Then my mum got poorly. We lost my dad in the January. My mum got poorly in the August. How I found out personally was just horrendous. But I found this new drive in myself, which I obviously get from my mum, because she's amazing, to just succeed in whatever I put my mind to. Yeah. So was it's your mindset, isn't it?
Yeah. So the drive for you was definitely like started going from the things that you wanted more to like looking after family.
Yeah, just everything, whatever I want, I'd sort of get, because I won't have it any other way. Whether that be money, success, or a new handbag. Yeah. Which, by the way, I just don't even like shopping. I'm just like not really bothered about it. But if I do want something, I'll get it. Yeah.
I really hope you're enjoying the show. I would just like to ask for 1 minute of your time to tell you about my sponsor, whose support makes the show possible, CPC Finance. CPC Finance is a finance broker that specialises in sourcing and packaging a wide range of property funding. You name it, from buy-to-lets to commercial properties, auction investments, property developments. They are everything you'd want as a finance broker working for you on your property deal. They're extremely experienced. They know their market extremely well, which means they can move quickly. They're on the ball. They've been in the game for 30 years, which has enabled them to, one, build very strong relationships with a variety of lenders, which as an investor is super important, especially when things don't go to plan. Deals in certain situations aren't straightforward, which is often the case. They are bespoke specialists. And two, they have a brilliant understanding of all types of property investing. They know the strategies, they understand deal structures. There isn't anything these guys haven't seen, you know, they're seasoned pros. So if you're someone looking for property finance of any kind, go to cpcfinance.co.uk, and on the homepage you can schedule in a call at whatever time or day suits. So then, the company that you do have now, Set with Diamonds, so before that, you've done a good, like, what, 5, 6, 7 businesses before that?
Yeah.
Were any of them successful?
Well, the candle business was successful, all not as success. You know, the market store was successful. I was just a kid, and I was sending me money.
In terms of, like, you know, scaling.
Yeah, but scaling, it's, you know, Say It With Diamonds. You know, I'd made a good living beforehand, but not to the phenomenal growth of Say It With Diamonds. It's when we changed over accountants, so we went to the more, you know, we were with our first accountant, who was amazing, and then we always call it lap. So you do your first lap, and the second lap, and then we had to get more corporate, because there was more money and bigger things involved. Yeah, and I've completely forgot what the question was, remind me.
No. So it was. So you had the companies before that.
Scaling the business.
Yeah, scaling the business. So the candle business done well. You made a living from it.
Yeah. So we were with this accounting company and talking about, you know, the growth of the business. Then we met this new accountant and we put our books down, and he sort of just looked at us and was like, but I can't see where your initial, you know, the capital is, your loan from the bank. And we were like, no, we never done it. We just done this ourselves. And he's like, people like sit there with the mouth open for like 5 minutes, and they're like, really? Yeah. And people can't believe it.
Just you and the business partner? It's 2 people?
Yeah, just 2 of us,
Who's that, a friend?
Steph. Okay. She's one of my best friends, and we just love each other. And
was she involved in all the other companies as well? When did she join? She only joined it with Set With Diamonds. So the candle business was just you?
Yeah, just me.
Okay, cool. So then when you came out of that, what did you do with that? Did you sell it, or did you just
My mum sort of just took it over for a little bit and then just
So did you come out of that with a bit of money?
No, not really, no.
Yeah.
Because one of the main things I've learned with diamonds now is a lot of people can make money, but it's keeping hold of it. That's the hard
100%,
part.
100%. You see it all the time. Footballers, for example, make so much money and end up retiring with not much.
There's a name for it. It's called your money blueprint. Now, I know we said bring a thing on and keep one of your favourite books. My favourite book of all time is Secrets of the Millionaire's Mind. But I couldn't bring that
you wanted to keep it?
because it's got writing all over it.
Right. I would have loved that.
It's took years of note. But I've got the podcast too and I listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, weekly. Sometimes I'll just put, it's like these laws of money and you put it on in the cart. And that's what it's all about. You're only as rich as the most money you've ever had. And some people, that's why when people, you know, like people that don't have no money, they win the lottery. And they win 10 million and then 2 years later they're skinned. And that's just because the money blueprint is set when they're thinking, oh God, and they're always living, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? It's engraved into them. So when I had the candle business, it was just, your money was spent before it was gone. And that's something I've had to learn over the last 6 years, because it's now, even when you get your wages, when for the first year, we thought, oh, this is great. And, you know, because you have to pay your own tax. Yeah. Spent all the money.
Oh, did you?
Not all the money. When I say spent all the money.
Not enough to pay the tax.
Bought our house and then we got this tax bill and we were like, oh, how rude. So one of my main things I say, you know, to drive success, get your money. So I'm going to just say, for example, you take 100,000 a year salary, 8,333 a month. You take it, put your tax away. It's not yours. It's the tax man's. Take your tax out, put it in a separate account. So then I take the school fees out and I put them in a separate account. And then, you know, you've got your household bills. Yeah. And then actually you have a little bit left and you put some in your savings. There's another book, as you can see, I'm an avid reader, called The Richest Monk in Babylon. Yeah. And you've probably read it, and he's all about to save 10% of your money. So even if I get we call it Brucey bonuses, I always make sure 10% of it go, well, minimum 10%, ideally 50% if I've got nothing to pay for, 50%. But you still need to have fun with some money too.
Yeah, of course.
But it's all keeping your money blueprint. Because even, say, your business account, we never used to separate our VAT money. And we'd look and we'd be like, yes, we're loaded. And you'd make decisions based on being loaded. But in actual fact, half the money's not yours, it's the tax man's. Yeah. So when you divide and conquer all your money out, it's a bit more realistic and you don't feel as rich and you're a little bit more tighter. Yeah. So you kind of learned the hard way with tax. How did you end up paying for that? Just make more money for the business? No. Well, we found out in the nick of time. Yeah. And then basically from the September to the January, I didn't take any money in wages because I had to pay it all to the tax. But imagine
it sounds like it's made you super disciplined with money now.
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah. Because we were just we got this tax bill and we were just oh yeah, as if we've paid our VAT, we've paid our corporation tax. We surely to God we haven't got another tax bill to pay, but how wrong are we?
So you started with 5 pieces, right? 5 necklaces. Yeah. Where did you get the necklaces from?
So there's another jewellers do them, a similar necklace. Yeah. But they charge, you're paying for their big flagship shops and the fancy bags and the fella that holds the door open for you. Sorry, I can't think of the name. So we just got them copied. So we source our jewellery from all over the world, really.
Right. Oh, okay. So I had the idea that they were you just had them.
We made
and he's
them.
Oh, okay.
No, we made them, yeah.
So before then, you made the conscious decision.
We made them to the better quality
nice.
than the competition, and we charged a quarter of the price.
Yeah. So you had a bit of money, invested it into buying 5 necklaces.
Yeah, we just kept putting back into it. Yeah. So what we do, we're a kind of made to order business. So we'd sort of get the people to pay, and then we'd order them. Right. It was never an outlay, and even still with rings and stuff, that's why we can always beat most prices, because we don't have them all in the window ready. So we make to order. So we sort of know we've got the sale where, for example, a high street jewellers, they've got 100 rings in the window. They've got insurance premiums coming out the nose.
That some won't even sell.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Where, you know, sometimes if people are in a rush, we can turn them around in 2 days.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if it's on a less time scale, we have just got to. They might pay a little bit more for the stone because.
Yeah.
But if you've got like a 4-week time scale, it doesn't matter. We
but
can get the
yeah, how do you kind of resolve the problem of someone wanting it and then pulling out? You going and ordering it and they pull out. Not really can do.
It doesn't really happen.
Does it not? Okay.
What does happen is people buy engagement rings, then they split up.
And they say no. Oh, they got to come back and they try to give it back.
Yeah, they try and give it back, and we just say no.
Oh god, yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. So where did the idea come from?
So me business partner just had an idea of it, and I said, I've got one of them necklaces that we were thinking of.
Yeah. Did you guys know anything about jewelry?
I'd be lying if I said yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
you can see I've literally, I don't, if I go out, you know, I do wear me jewelry, but I don't even wear earrings, and I wear me watch, but we don't deal in watches.
Yeah.
However, if I can become an official dealer of Patek Philippe,
you're gonna
Philippe Patek Philippe.
I don't know what
Can't even think. I'm here. I email them. Can I become a retailer? Like, you literally can't get these watches for love and money, as if they're going to say yeah to me. They haven't answered me, but God loves a try.
So you're looking to do that?
No, watches. It just comes. People rob you, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's a
tough
lot,
gig, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot more. However, you know, if someone wants a watch and I can get them one, I will get them one.
Yeah. So you're both fairly business savvy because you had a few businesses. So you knew how to kind of run a business, but you knew nothing about jewelry.
No.
The idea came from your friend. What was kind of the next steps from there? And a big question as well is, at the time you started the business, you was having a baby or just had a baby?
No, well, when we come up with the idea, we were pregnant. So
both of you was?
Yeah. So Steph baby was due in the January. Mine was due in the March. Now, we were friends anyway. But Steph already has a child, so it was like, oh.
So she had a child and she was pregnant?
Yeah, the baby's just done this. I was asking her every move. We were in Spain together for the full summer. So, we grew really close. And then Steph had the idea about the necklaces, and I was like, listen, this is what we're doing. Bam, 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 bam. And I sort of brought all the business to it. So Steph had the idea and I brought all the business, and we were like, bam, bam, bam. And then before we knew it, I said, this is what we're doing, because I'd done it before.
Yeah.
And that's how the brand was started.
Yeah, so you started selling just to like immediate friends?
It was just on Instagram.
Oh, really?
And then we just, after some time, people started saying, can you do this, can you do that? And we just said yes to everything.
But where did you get the link for the jewelry, to get the jewelry?
Well, we just shopped around.
Like, you just bought normal jewelry? Just like from
so we bought gold and got it made, and we bought gold and diamonds separately and just got it made, And then obviously just selling it on for a profit. Exactly, yeah. But we were doing them made to order, really. So then we thought, if we can do this with jewellery, we can do bracelets, we can do engagement rings. So we got a small office. Then pretty soon after that, we outgrew that. Then we got like more of a showroom where people could come in, and we started specialising in rings then. And we'd like sit down with people, and it'd be like you were designing a house, but it was your ring.
Cool.
Like a bespoke experience. Then we'd done like an open door Thursday. My mum used to work here for us. And she'd come in and there'd be queues like really long. And then someone said, oh, why don't you just get a shop? And we said, you know what, exactly how you know, our role as what I've done with this podcast. Why not? We went, and the next thing we signed, they were like, just need solicitors to look over that. We were like, oh, it's okay. And then thankfully we've got a bit more up in the world now, and we do have solicitors and stuff. But we just winged it. My business coach is going to hate that because he's like, you're successful, you're a businesswoman, and there's no winging. But until
but at that point, you've got to wing, haven't you?
You absolutely got to wing it, yeah.
I think if you don't, normally you end up procrastinating. Like, I can't do this. I can't start because I don't know this.
Exactly.
Just like even with podcasting, it was like I was thinking to myself, oh, should I maybe like get a speaking coach and start learn how to speak a little bit better, a little bit more clearer. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna start like and just get better as I go.
Exactly, yeah. And you've got to. We're always gonna wing things in life, aren't we?
Yeah.
One day when I get my MBA, I'm just gonna be like that. Yes, Queen Lizzie, do this every week. Thank you. By the way, it's second nature.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So then, okay. So what was the kind of catapult moment for you guys where you started a business? It was doing well, but what like shot you to the next level?
So we done. So Instagram isn't the way it is now. It's my biggest pet hate.
And you didn't understand Instagram or socials at all, did you, when you started?
No, I didn't, but now I understand influencers. I don't know where they get the front from, the height of cheekiness. They call themselves influencers, they get everything for nothing, and they charge $5,000 plus VAT for a post.
Yeah.
For pressing a button. Like, no.
Yeah. Is that something you tried to do? You reached out to influencers to try and...
we work with influencers because it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
But do I like doing it? No.
Yeah.
But when we first started, when you're asking about getting catapulted to becoming a brand, we used to give them out for free, or you'd do a competition and we gain loads of followers from that. So that's how it worked then. But now they've all cottoned on and realised you can get absolutely thousands of pounds for sitting on the couch and pressing a button.
Have you ever done it? Have you done any paid promotion with influencers?
Me personally?
No, with Sarah Diamonds. Yeah. How does it work?
We done my worst one.
Really?
I don't know whether to name it. Right, I don't really know celebrities because I don't watch any telly. But this one, in particular, we paid about $7,000 for it to post.
Yeah.
And
how many followers did
she was like a porn star.
Really?
Got about...
What made you choose that?
Because we were advised to.
Right.
She was... Oh, yeah. Anyway, all that we got out of it was these pervy old men phoning me. Like saying like rude stuff down the phone. I was just like, God, give me strength. So I think that's why I'm a little bit scarred with these influencers. But then you'd have some local influencers. So one in particular, her name's Carla. She's a girl from Liverpool. She's a makeup artist. Mm-hmm. And every time she posts, because she's a genuine mum, she's great. She's great for business. And I do feel that she would be called like a micro-influencer. It's more genuine, and people like that. You get more from people like her posting than this $7,000.
Yeah. So that the only one, you just did that one. They kind of just got you.
She actually took a picture of the necklace, and you couldn't see the necklace because the boobs were like that much, and I was just like, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So that obviously didn't work. So you didn't do any more after that. That was kind of it.
Here and there. You've still got it. It's built into our marketing budget. We've done radio. We do.
Yeah.
Pop-ups, we do...
Do you see like a...
sponsorships of podcasts?
Yeah. Have you sponsored a podcast before?
Well, we haven't, but it's because they're so big at the minute. It's something we've looked into. There's a girls one that we're going to sponsor in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
So they're really moving forward podcasts now, and they're becoming big, aren't they?
Yeah, no, for sure. And
I think it's good because you can listen to them on the go.
Yeah, do you know what? For me, it was like really... I used to watch podcasts like on YouTube all the time. I never really used to listen to them. And so I was really big on having this one recorded. Because I love watching it on YouTube with other people as well. Yeah. But everyone just goes to audio. Majority of people go to audio.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, but the good thing obviously about this is you market it using the reels and you clip out little bits and then you put it out there, which is really good. But yeah, most people go to audio.
The slim bits.
Right. It's from, you don't see the baby, it's from here and above. So yeah, it is good. And because I obviously got to listen all of them back.
Yeah.
And I like to listen to them back anyway to like really see how it went and take the knowledge that the person, because when you speak sometimes I don't fully take it in because I'm like podcasting. So when I listen to it back, I'm like, oh, that was a really good point, what she said or what he said.
Do you know what? The same with myself as well. You're sitting here and because it's so natural and it's just a conversation. There's going to be times when you say things wrong. I'm going to refer back to the Molly May podcast that she's done with,
I don't think she said anything wrong there.
I don't.
It's mad that, isn't it?
Do you know what? People are always, you can't, what's the saying? You can't be the brightest bulb or the juiciest peach, whatever. Someone's always going to have an issue. Yeah. And sometimes you can say things and it can be taken completely out of context and you've got someone waiting to pull you down. Yeah. But you've just got to expect them type of people and just be like, yeah, fine. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your opinion. Next.
So what else do you do outside of the business?
in general life.
In general life, yeah.
So I train, I go to the gym. So I take my little girl to school. That's my most important thing. I love taking
Is that like
her to school.
a non-negotiable every day?
Yeah, every day. I love it. My favourite time. This week we're singing Grease in the car. You're the One That I Want and Summer Night on repeat.
Yeah.
Last week it was Trolls. Week before Trolls 2, but it's our special time together and we love it. And then I have to like really build it up and say, Mummy used to love this when she was a little girl. So we went through a phase of, Mummy, put a song that you used to like. And then sometimes we'll do one for me, one for her, you know, because otherwise I do lally listening to all the same songs on repeat. But yeah, that's what I do. Then I drop her to school, go straight to the gym, get that out the way. Today I had to miss it because I had to go to the doctor's appointment. So I'm a bit OCD, I didn't like that. And then
gym over there, just get a little session done over there.
I do, because I do one-on-one Pilates, only because I'm pregnant. Yeah. Because otherwise I live by the beach and I'd go and do this hill sprints.
Were you in Formby?
Crosby, Blundell Sands, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So how do you kind of like manage your day? Because it sounds like you fit a lot in.
Yeah, that's because I'm a woman. Write it down, tick it off as I go. Sometimes, honestly, Kev, you know, if you come round with me, you would think, wow. Yeah. Like people say to me, I don't know how you do it when you're pregnant. Like I don't know how you do what you do if you wasn't pregnant. But that's just my nature. So bum 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 bum.
I'm the same, but what I think that comes with, I think you got to like, I think a lot of people when they focus on like work-life balance, what they call it, which I think is a bit of a myth, but I think it comes to like the secret is about like just prioritizing. People try and do like things that aren't very important to them or it's not really part of what they want to do, but they put it in anyways. Where I'm quite ruthless in terms of like, people know I'm horrendous with texting them back. If they text me and try and start a convo, I was just like, bro, I'm not having a convo because I haven't got time to just sit here for 25 minutes on my phone. So like I just kind of ignore them. And then I'll catch up with you on the phone. We can make a half an hour convo texting, do it in 5 minutes type thing. So is that it for you? Do you feel like what do you kind of sacrifice to get what you need?
I'm very good at delegating.
Yeah, okay.
I've become the world's best delegator.
So, you know.
Yeah, but you've got to, haven't you? And I still say it now, you know, if you can pay someone, and you don't even need to be rich or have money to do it, if you can pay somebody to do what you don't like doing, do it. Even if you've got no money. You know, just for example, I have a housekeeper. She is amazing. I'd rather have her than John. Yeah. Like, and he knows that. I love her more than anything in the world. And she comes and she helps me and she looks after me. And if I have a party, she not that she's my friend as well. Yeah, of course. But she comes and you don't need to tell her. And I hate ironing. Why would I put myself through the ironing? Yeah. But at the same time, I like an empty washing basket. I like it all dried and I like it ironed before it's hung up. Now, that's what works for me. So if I can pay someone to do that, I'm going to do it. Yeah. For example, you know, these people, my pet hates people say they've got no money and they smoke or they've got dogs. Now, you can be a pet lover, but if you've got no money, they're bloody expensive, aren't they? For sure. And I'm just like, and then, moaning about the iron or moaning this. I say, quit the smoking, quit the drinking. There's a million things you can quit and have the luxuries of having a housekeeper. Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah. Do you know, it's actually, when you think about it, it's quite simple, but no one thinks about it. It's like a lot of people that I spoke to before you came on said, any questions, all the questions is, how do you get so much done? Whereas I think that answer is that it's prioritizing, isn't it? Absolutely. And so anything you don't see as like important, can you delegate it, or can you, if you can't, then just kind of get rid of it? Exactly, yeah. Or like I don't really overly like cooking, so I'll go and buy the food. Yeah. You know, by the time you've been in the shopping, and especially if you go with your kids and I went to the Marks and Spencer's last night. I'm going to the lodge this weekend with some of the girls from Ariana's old school. And so just went and bought, you know, all like the fruit and the croissants and all that. And we're walking around the Marxies and my little girl's going, Mummy, can I have some calamari? Mummy, can I pick this thing up of Spanish ham? Now, I like her to eat well, so I'm absolutely fine with it. Yeah. I looked at it was a tenner. But I just was like, oh yeah, go on. And I thought, you know what? I'd have been cheaper going for a restaurant meal for my tea. But it didn't mind and it was fine. But my point is, anyone you go with the supermarket with the kids, they're like that, throwing the Kinder eggs in. Well, not the Kinder eggs now because they've all got salmonella, haven't they? Did they? Yeah, they've all been recalled. The bans, I didn't know that. Now, yeah. Yeah, no, interesting. So what, other than that, so you delegate well. Is there anything else that you feel like kind of sacrifice that maybe like a normal person does that you kind of sacrifice to get
more important things
Well,
done.
there's a book called The E-Myth Revisited.
Yeah.
It's a great book, and it's about people that have got their own business that then become a technician in their own business. So, for example, in the book, I was going to say storybook then. I'm reading a 5-year-old's book now. In the book, it's about this woman, and she's a cake maker, and she owns the company, and she's doing every single thing, and she's scared to let things go, which I used to be like. I used to do the Instagram, used to do this, do that, and you can't even think straight because you're busy doing nonsense. So I'd advise all your listeners to read this book.
Yeah.
And it just puts a bit of clarity on. And as you just went back to saying before, half of the things you don't even need to do. You're being a busy fool, and that's what I call it.
100%.
I refuse to be a busy fool. So just wipe out all the nonsense. I used to run to one end of Liverpool for my hair. I used to run here for my eyelashes, run there, and I'd spend all my time in the car. And I think now I'm just making my life simple.
Yeah.
So I've had my hair extensions taken out. I can drift by.
Purposely for time.
Yeah, I'm going to get them put back in next week because I just need to feel a little bit nice.
Yeah.
I can't just be fat. I need to feel a bit nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm going
But
to be
even
like
that,
this with me Russian hair next week with not a scrap of makeup on.
Yeah.
But it's
Do you know,
just...
I feel like I think it's like commitment levels, I think because you're so committed to like the things that are important to you, you really let go of other things. Like no one would think me going to the hairdresser and getting my extensions is causing me taking too much of my time, so I'm going to get rid of them.
Well, it used to take me half an hour to get there, sitting in the chair, half an hour to get back, and I'm just like, no. Now I get a facial every single week, but that time I lie on the bed and I have a sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm catching up, and that is essential to me. I've got to do it because last night I slept 5 hours, which was great. But the 3 nights before...
Is that great for you?
Well, I go to bed really early, but I get up really early. But because of the last three nights, I've Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had 6 hours sleep. I had like 1 hour 45, one night 1 hour 45 exactly.
Yeah.
2 hours 25.
Why?
Oh, whether
because you couldn't sleep,
toilet breaks.
Oh right, okay, cool.
I had heartburn.
Yeah.
I had a pain in my boob and diagnosed myself with all kinds because I was sick.
Sophie does that all the time.
I sat next to this girl, right? If there's a solution to any problem, I'm fine. Sat next to this poor girl at Stephen Bartlett's event, she was sitting one away from me. Anyway, long story short, she was 26, being diagnosed 10 months ago with breast cancer. Yeah. So I'm sitting to her listening, and I'm going, why are the boobs still on you? Go, get them off. I said, so I'm telling her, I said, he's the best breast surgeon in the country. I said, he does a Tuesday clinic round the corner from my house. I said, I go and stand on his car and say, listen, get these took off me. And she's going, I'm 26, I don't want to. So I couldn't quite get my head around it. Yeah. I said, what are you waiting for? She said, I'm waiting for this other biopsy. There's a national shortage in the country. So I'm like listening to her. And then it must have been resonating on my mind. And then I'm coming home and I'm thinking, oh my God, if I need a biopsy, what am I going to do? So this is what I've had to go to the doctors for today.
Oh, really?
For a full examination.
Yeah.
She said, I'm prescribing you a steroid cream. You've got a bit of a sweat rash. But I tortured myself for that. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
So anyway, but back to Carla with the facial. Oh, she just does these best facials, and she pulls your neck and she floats your head down.
So that's vital to you.
It's absolutely vital. I need it. And then especially if I'm not sleeping, I need that little hours catch up. And I have a little snore and a little...
Would you, what things kind of that aren't very important, but that kind of like creep up on you and you kind of get the urge to do, that maybe makes you procrastinate a little bit, or...
I emptied the washing machine yesterday because the sun was cracking the flags, and I thought, I kept looking at it and I just wanted to throw it all in the dryer, and I wanted it done for Dita to run it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the sun was cracking the flags and it's done it. Yeah,
like for me, it's like, so I think what you've highlighted there, and I think what I've realised is people that do get a lot of things done, they're quite efficient, are people that are ruthless in terms of what's important and what's not, and getting rid of that.
I think it's structure as well.
And
I'm always on time. I'm never ever late. Yeah. I went to do a talk in this school. It was a rundown school in Liverpool the other week, and I didn't actually know that they were naughty kids till I got there. So, but they were naughty. So I don't know whether this approach, what they were doing, was the right one. I don't know whether locking them in the classrooms. You should have heard some of the things they were saying to me. In the end, I went, listen, I've given my day off. I couldn't hold it, but I've given my day off to come and try and help you, and this is how you're speaking to me.
Yeah.
I was just like, no. I said, listen, you don't have to be clever in life. You don't even have to be good, but you need to be on time. This is me advice to everyone. Be on time, have respect, and listen.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any of them. So, you know, like the questions they were asking me, what car have you got? Oh, I'm going to get this car. And I just thought, no, you're not, because you're rude. Mm-hmm. You were late to the lesson. I hope they don't listen to this. They're definitely not going to. They're going to have other far more unimportant things to be doing than listening to this. But there was a couple of kids in the class that could have been that, but the others were pulling them down.
Yeah.
So I'd remove them.
Mm-hmm.
And take the kids out, but they can't, can they? Should have seen the school that they've built for them. Must be costing millions.
Yeah.
And they just don't care. Isn't it sad, eh?
Yeah, interesting. Two things. Well, one thing you brought up there, which is important, is environment. What to ask you about, but structure. So you said structure is very important for you. How do you kind of structure your days?
Well, the sort of midweek, really to Saturday, because Ariana does dance. They're the same. I do the same things at the same time. Mm-hmm. Voice notes are the way forward. You know, they save so much time. Definitely. Sometimes when people ring, someone needed to speak to me the other day. They said, "Can we have a phone call?" I said, "No. Can you just voice note me, please?"
No, phone call. I like phone calls. I think they're quicker.
Some people do, but it was a conversation I didn't really want to have. It's one that I don't really actually care about.
Oh, right, okay.
So he's, in a roundabout way, wanting me to do something that I don't need to do for another year. So voice note me and I'll pick it up and I'll get you back kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So, but just structure to your day. And as I say...
So is that like you purposely say, okay, at this time I'm doing this time I'm doing this, or is it just an overall...
If people ask me to go for dinner, they've got to book in like 3 weeks in advance. I'll go. And if you're in my diary, I would never let you down.
Yeah.
But
nice.
I'm booked up. I'm very booked up.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
To the minute. Like if I get somewhere and someone's late, I'm like sitting on my watch and I'm like, no. I've got the time I've got, and then I've got to go. Yeah.
So how important has environment been to you, like choosing your environment been for like your success with your business?
I only surround myself with people. Well, that's wrong to say because I love to help people. Yeah. But I only be where I want to be. Mm-hmm. You know, in the books. I know I always keep going back to the books, but it's my life. That's what I do. And it says, you know, you need to always be with people. I always want to be with people that I can learn from. Yeah. It's no good always being the cleverest in the room because you're never going to learn. Mm-hmm. Same for me little girl, or same for you with your football. It's pointless being the best footballer on the pitch all the time because how are you ever going to get better?
Definitely.
Or my little girl, there's this one little girl in her class and they were like 4 and I said it was in lockdown and I said, let's all read the kids' stories, put them on the group chat and it's just a nice way to interact. Yeah. So the mum of this one child in particular I meant the mum read the story, and this say a mum, she's a consultant, put a child on. Like I was intimidated. The child was like, I've never seen a kid read like, what the ladybird had, the ladybird, and I was just like, wow. And this child is super, super clever, and she's in Ariana's class, and I go to her. Whose phonics class are you in? Are you in the same one as Amelia? And she goes, yes, mummy. And then the other day, she come in and I went, Ariana, I said, are these spellings like right for you? You know, I've just been saying they give them per child. Yeah. I was thinking, I think these are a little bit too easy. So she said, I know, mummy, on Amelia's spelling, she had bicycle. And I was like, Ariana's not at the bicycle level. But I was just thinking, oh, is she?
Yeah.
Like a competitive streak in me.
Yeah. So what are a few examples of maybe like being, again, ruthless, but with your environment? Have you had to like cut a lot of people out, drop a lot of people that was unable to
I drop
keep getting
out
better?
now, drains.
Yeah.
Just drains, or people that just are negative or moaning and I just haven't got time for them. And you know, even if you pick the phone up and it's like, don't get me wrong, I listen to problems all day long, but there's certain people that like problems and they've got a problem to every solution.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
and I'm just like, not today.
Yeah. So how have you gone about for your business? I think you're 19 staff, 20 staff?
Yeah.
At the minute. So how do you go about kind of hiring the right people?
Oh, we've made some good choices.
Yeah,
Most of
some
them
bad
have been good, and we've made some bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but most of our staff that work for us have all worked for us from the start.
Oh, nice, really?
So I guess we're good to work for, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I guess as well, they'll probably feel really connected to the business, seeing it from like nothing to what it is now.
Yeah.
And who is your main client, the majority of your clients? Where are they kind of coming from? There's like regular people?
Liverpool, London, Manchester,
Yeah.
regular people, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Then we have, like, could say the last year, started getting like a lot more footballers, and but they come to me personally direct, you know.
Yeah, that just feel like networking and people you know and people like that.
Yeah, and it just comes from that, or I'll go to nice places and, you know, meet people, and then they use me. One lady in particular, Sammy, I met her on a yacht in Monaco, and she's just diamond mad, and she just said, I love supporting small businesses, and it means a lot that she chooses, you know, people like us.
Yeah, nice. Would you I know your kids
are you
only young.
engaged anytime soon, Kev?
Yeah, at some point. We're hectic at the minute, so when things settle down, I'm sure we'll sort it out.
That sounds a lot of butt sticks and
I was just away with on holiday with my missus and her grandparents, and her grandma's been at me the whole holiday.
Were you getting the daggers every night over dinner?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, it had been alright because her mum was with her partner for like 7 years. So then every time they tried to talk about it, I'm like, look at them. They're not married yet.
Is that your scapegoat?
Yeah, no, but he proposed to her. So I ain't got it no more. Yeah, not got a leg to stand on. So yeah, at some point. But like I said, prioritize right now, right? But no, we'll get it done at some point. We're talking about.
You've got the two babies.
Yeah. We talk about the wedding like all the time, and we're not even engaged yet. So it's just it will naturally fall in place when it does. And I will come to you when I need the ring, of course. But then also, what I was going to say, so I know your child's only 6, right? Do you you're obviously quite well educated, and you read a lot of books about money and the laws of money. Do you start implementing any of those into her at all at the tiniest levels? Or
yes, she got every penny she gets. I say, come on, she's not making the mistakes I made. Yeah. I say, half that, you're giving half to the tax man, because obviously she's going to be in the higher tax bracket.
You're the second person to say that, you know.
Really?
Yeah. He said a guy we had on the first episode, no, it was the third episode, can't remember, but he taxes his kids. And I love that. That's such a good idea.
Got it. I say like, so when it's first tooth fell out, I know people are going to be listening and really think this is really bad, but she got £20 for her first tooth falling out. And, you know, everyone was like, what, you done what? I could see, looks a disgrace. And I was like, listen, it was a first tooth, and she's an absolute angel, and I'm taking half back off her, so shush. So, and I said to her, right, come on, half, you know, you've got to save half, and put half in your bank account, and then you can have half to spend. And I say to her now, you know, if you save up enough money, I said, I'll match this. Obviously, I'm going to give her the house, and hopefully, you know, providing everything stays well, I'll give her a house and she'll be fine, because that's the absolute goal. But I've said to her, I will match whatever you save, and it's just an incentive, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always thought that, you know. So I think mine growing up, you know, if they wanted to like go, when they get to a certain age where they can actually go and make money from somewhere, like you when you're doing your stores at 14, for example, if they really wanted something, cost £1,000, for example, you raise the first 500 and I'll match it with 500. So then I think that kind of it's earned, but it gives them the boost, because they should have a boost if you've got parents that work really hard in their life and they made money.
It teaches them to, you know, have good models. A very good family friend. He's super successful. His house is complete goals, and I speak to him a lot for business advice or just to run things by him. Anyway, he's got 3 girls, and one of them's she's doing a vet course now, and she's going to be looking after race horses' eyes. And then her other sister's doing biomedicine. You know, one of them, I have to Google what it actually means. And Grace, she's still in school, but they're the most beautiful, gorgeous kids ever. And 2 of them, Isabel and Rebecca, work for me. And you know, they could be they've got everything, but the way they install into them, they go to work and they save up, and they actually save up to buy the latest Sophia Webster's shoes. And I just think, you know what, I absolutely love what they've done. And another example, I frequently use this, Jamie Carragher and Nicola, you know, they're very good friends of ours. So Jamie's John's best mate. And I remember once being in their house, and Nicola's just like a fabulous mum. And I remember James, the son, coming in and saying, Mum, can I have a Montclair coat? And she was just like, oh yeah, son, you've got some in your wardrobe upstairs. And you know, he didn't know.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Jay, Premier League footballer for all them years.
Yeah.
Money's, you know, no object. The kids have probably never wanted, but you know, they never had that in them, or didn't expect it, or they wasn't materialistic. And I quite aspired for that as well. You know, to state that the man I was referring to just before, he was a businessman, but two different, you know, one's footballer, one's a businessman, and the kids are just so amazing, just gorgeous kids.
No, I love that. So that's something that you like really think about with her. You're really mindful about how you
absolutely
talk about money with her.
And I don't, you know, buy the odd pair of nice designer shoes. And Sammy, I was just telling you about in Monaco. We went to Paris last month. It was my birthday present and hers off John. And I said, what do you want? She said, Mummy, I want to go shopping like Clarice in Paris. So I said, okay. So of course, Clarice in Paris goes to Dior. So we went and we bought her a pair of shoes from Dior, and I was and ahhing, and I was like, ooh. And John's like, oh, just get her the shoes. That's what she wanted for the birthday. Get her them and she can have the little bag. Yeah. And I was explaining to her, I said, you know, the clothes in Dior, they're beautiful. I said, but baby girl, I said, you'll wear the shoes a lot of times. I said, we can't justify spending that much money on clothes. And Sammy... I was having, because obviously I'm having the baby, she sent me a beautiful gifts for the baby, and she sent Ariana this like Dior thing, but as I only had the conversation, you know, an outfit, I'd only had the conversation with her a week before about how expensive these clothes were, and she was like, Mummy, Sammy spent a lot of money on this. I don't think we can take it. And I said, but baby girl, it's a gift, and we are thankful, and Sammy wanted to buy you this. So she was like, oh, okay then. But I just loved that she knew. Because in general, I just go to Zara. I'm Zara's #1 customer. And, you know, I love it. So, it's definitely, again, about the balance. With
I love that. Isn't it? Also, another really important thing that I think about a lot as well is being on like the same financial page as your partner, and being on the same page as a household in general. Sort of, you've kind of got that communication with your kid. What about your partner? How like financially on the same page are you?
He's you know when I was starting the business, he helped me. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
What does he do? Is he in business?
So yeah, he has. He's been in the property business for a long time, but he's sort of coming out of that now. And
developer or just investor?
Both, developer and renting them out.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't ask too many questions about it because it's so boring, but he's not handy, not at all. I've given him a deadline to Friday to get the cop put up. I would rather just pay someone to do it. He's like, I'll do it. If he doesn't get it done by Friday, he'll be sleeping in the cart. But he's into children. He's got a children's play centre now.
Oh, nice.
And it's doing phenomenal. So yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. So how do you kind of work that, being on the same page? Is it do you have like, so like one guy who I had on here has like every Sunday he has like a 20-minute meeting with a partner. They just go over like their finances, what they spend.
You laugh. So we have this WhatsApp group. So you and
your partner.
Yeah. So we split the bills right down the middle. Yeah. And whether it be school fees, mortgage, whatever it is. Yeah. So and then he generally, because he likes to cook and he does the cooking mostly, he goes for all the shopping. So I know for a fact, he's going to listen to this and be laughing, I know for a fact he thought he spent like much more than me on day to day, because it probably seemed that, because all his stuff that he bought was useful. But then what he didn't say was I bought all the cleaning stuff, for example, for Dita, but because he doesn't think we need polish or soap powder, because he doesn't see the washing machine. And I spend a fortune on all that stuff. Or like, say Ariana needed school shoes, I would never ever ask him. So he said, right, we're going to get this joint account. So we've got this joint account, but we've never used it because it's just such a rigmarole changing all the direct debits over, isn't it? So Anyway.
Or would you not just do like every month you both put the money into the joint account and you spend from the joint account?
Well, that's what we're supposed to be doing, but then it needs my time. It needs me to sit and prioritise and phone the mortgage people and phone this, you know, to change it all over, or for him to do it. And it's just not important at the minute when we can just split it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's 2 days' work being on hold to people. Can't be bothered with that. So it's a job that's pending that needs sorting out. But it's just not.
Is that just to be a bit more organised and to see that you're spending the same?
Yeah, but I said this is what me and my business partner do. So we have a WhatsApp group and we just put what we spent, and you know, we'll both take an X amount each for whatever it may be. Yeah. Say dinners with clients. So we take a set amount each month and we put it. So I said it works. Yeah. So anyway, he said, so I put the other day I put in it. So I got curtains done for the baby's new room. So I just put in curtains, £2,000. He put, you're taking the piss. I said no. So and then I put every little thing in now. So even if I go to like the Home and Bargain and spend £5, I put it in the group. So and then at the end of the month, it's always him and me. He has to give me half of all the money that I've spent, and he's left the group twice. I have to invite him back in.
What if he's not happy with the purchases that you're making?
He tells me about it, and I just he wasn't happy about the curtains, but he just said, look. I said that they're going to be the feature piece in the room. The window's this big, by the way. Yeah.
So you just sell him on everything, basically.
So he paid. He was fine. And then when the curtains come, he was like, oh, they're lovely, them curtains. I said, so are you happy now? He said, no, I'm still not happy about the price. But he comes round in the end. Yeah. But you say you're quite like similar, quite on the same page. Obviously, there's little bits and pieces here and there. But John's 44 in August, so he's, I say there's a 13-year age gap and he says 12, but it's you know, obviously. And I know John better than John knows himself. Yeah. We've had this same discussion for the past 2 weeks. I'm like, John, I know you. Like, he can't. John couldn't go and have 1 pint without me not knowing. Yeah. Honestly, it's like the most bizarre. But I was a kid when I got with him. I know him. I just know him like the back of my hands. I know him better than he knows himself. Yeah. So when it comes to having to manipulate a few bills.
Yeah, no problems.
It's probably going to go all pear-shaped now after he listens to this podcast. Yeah. And he'll be thinking, yeah, I'm on here now. But we work very good together, and we know each other, and we're on the same page, and mostly.
Is there a bit of like, you're both successful in your own rights, is there a bit of like healthy competition between the two in terms of like...
Yes, absolutely. Yes, there is.
He's probably like, I'm not letting my missus make more money than me.
Well, funny you should say that, because we've just touched base on watches. Obviously, the Patek is the dream watch, but I can't get one. One day, I'm going to get one. And anyway, I wanted a Rose Gold Sky Dweller. You can't get one of them. So I got a steel Rose Gold Sky Dweller. In fact, John got me it for my 30th. And I'm 32 now, but I think I must have got it a little bit before. Yeah. And at the time, everyone kept saying to me, oh, you've got a lovely watch, So you know what he done? Not even 6 months later, he went and got himself the Rose Gold one. And I was actually saying, so we were in London the other day, and this man was on the table next to us, but John's watch was covered, but he kept looking at mine. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm just admiring your watch. And I was like, oh, I really want the Rose Gold one. And he was like, oh, you got the Rose Gold one, his and her. And I was thinking, yeah, I feel like he only got it.
Because,
just because so my watch wasn't better than his, and he had to go that one further. But it's all healthy. And I said to him, I'm going to Ibiza with the girls in September. And I said to him, can I take your watch? Can I wear your watch? And he said, yeah, I'll see.
but like you said, it's healthy. So it probably pushes you, like business-wise, pushes you a little bit. If he's doing really well, you're like, oh shit, he's starting to get a bit ahead. So you push. Yeah. Is that kind of how the vibe goes a little bit?
Or like our cars, I've got the better car. Obviously, I'm the woman and I drive the kids around. But his car's not rubbish by no means. Yeah. And he keeps saying to me, when you've had your car a year, because we got them on the same day. Funny enough, how strange is that? Got them on the same day, different brands, and he goes, when you've had your car a year, should we swap? But he, like, if I'm just in the house, he would take my car. Yeah. And I say, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Yeah. But he's good, and he's very supportive of me. And he's fine. He's good.
do you like, as partners, do you review everything together? Do you know everything that he does, or do you have like a separate, where it's like he just spends what he wants to spend on himself personally, you spend what you want to spend? Is there a bit of like...
You know, he'd ask me, he's like, yeah, he'd ask me, he'd say like, I'm thinking of buying this watch, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But if like I really wanted something, or he really wanted something, either of us would just get it. Yeah. Like sometimes I ask him, then I don't take his advice, and I tell him I'm not going to take his advice, and he goes, "What you bother asking me for?"
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's cool. I think I think we're talking, when it comes to money, I think that's so important. You know, in a household, just being on the same page. I think that probably like could come between a lot of people money, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's something that probably needs to be highlighted a lot more.
We've got to listen to each other and respect each other. Yeah. Like, I wanted a white car, and he was like, no, and I never. So, you know, a bit of compromise.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure he'd like to go for the pint every weekend, and I say no. Yeah. And, you know, he compromises sometimes.
Yeah. So you got your business doing really well.
Yeah.
One question I wanted to ask is like, so you obviously make a certain amount of money. Do you always, that money that you make, do you always reinvest that back in, or do you then go and do like other investments? Do you have any other personal investments outside of the business? Or is it always reinvesting it back in?
Yeah, we've just bought a property with our SIP, our pension.
Okay.
So we were paying, what were we paying? We were paying rent for our warehouse.
Yeah.
And we were clearly paying someone else's mortgage. Why would we do that when we can buy our own? And
okay.
I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. But our wealth manager said, we've put this money away for the pension. You've never seen it anyway. So we feel like we've just got this big building for nothing.
Yeah.
And now we're like landlords of like 4 different other businesses.
Okay.
So it's amazing. So yeah, I suppose that's our
that
first big
all right.
investment.
Yeah.
We have a little dabble in stocks and shares.
So this you and John, or you and your business partner?
And me and my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah, me and John, we live together. We don't work together. Like we've
you keep that separate.
Yeah,
is that important for you?
We've got to. Well,
yeah.
So it's like a bit of a power struggle sometimes with me and John. We're just better to live together and be partners in life, because he'll ask me things, then he won't take me advice.
Yeah.
And then because I'm so controlling, it just wouldn't work. I would kill John. I would not be able to work with John. And he's too slow for me.
Yeah.
I would have things done by the time, you know, like of a morning. So we get up together, and his one job is to give Ariana a breakfast, you know, while I dress and brush the teeth, you know, make sure the teeth are going. But I leave for the school run, so I've actually got to be showered, washed, dressed, where he can like laze around a little bit. He literally has to do the breakfast. Even that, I've put a wash on, took a wash out, all by the time he's even made the bed, all before, because that's like a bit OCD. I need the bed made as soon as like I'm making it, while he's still in it, while he's just thinking about it. He's too slow for me. I need fast paced.
Okay,
so I'd strangle him.
So investments wise, you got that, is that your first kind of investments, your own investments? Those properties.
The property,
properties.
We are actively looking to buy more properties. We've got the money in the bank collecting dust. It's so frustrating because it's been there for like 2 years.
Is that something you kind of educate yourself on a little bit? Investments?
No, we have a business coach, David Potson. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he'll tell us what to do, and we'll do it. But we'll do a bit of research. And we've got Steve Hughes, who's our wealth manager, and he helps us and tells us what to do. And then a network, and I speak to educated people and figure out what they're doing.
How do you decide whether to reinvest the money or not to reinvest it and go and get another investment? So for
example, with our business, so we have a financial advisor, financial director. So it's different from an accountant. Our business coach says an accountant keeps you compliant, pay your taxes on time. Shiraz, he literally, he's amazing. He looks at every single penny, and you know, he helps build wealth. So for example, say our turnover for the month of March was 300 grand. You pay your bills, your wages, what are they called? There's a name for them on the KPI. I can't think of the name. You like your overheads. But you'd have like ones that never change. Then you'd have ones that fluctuate.
Yeah.
So we pay all that. And then, you know, I've just been telling you about, I've been doing quite a few number of high value sales.
Mm-hmm.
So because I don't work in the shop and I'm not on the website, I've started tallying them up. So what I bring to the business or what Steph brings personally to the business.
Yeah.
And then I say to Shiraz, we want the profit off that in this separate account. So we call it our investment pot that we haven't invested in nothing at the minute in.
Yeah, so you just make the decision that I want to invest this rather than reinvest it back in.
Otherwise, if you leave it in the business, it just goes on marketing or whatever it may be. So that's something that we've...
Interesting.
Again, it's divide and conquering your money.
Yeah. Cool. One other question, it's an important question, is do you feel like as a woman that it is important to have your own, to be stable financially? Do you think you can ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
In any situation, any circumstance, you also think it's.
I could not think of nothing worse than holding off an argument with John because I had to wait for my next handout.
Yeah.
And the same models will stand with my little girl. Like it's essential. It's the most important thing in life. You need your own money. Money gives you your own freedom.
Yeah.
Because imagine like you'd have to ask someone or say John had done something to annoy me. And I think, oh, God, but I'm going out with the girls on Saturday and I need to ask them for £100. Sure. Like, and you couldn't actually tell them what you really think. You're not living a true life of yourself, are you?
Yeah.
So it's absolutely essential. So, even like...
And has that always been your mindset from whenever?
No.
I mean, because at the time you met him, you didn't have this business.
No, exactly.
But
I've had to go... So, John has always been really generous with me.
Yeah.
He has. But there was some times, and he held the cards, and for example, he used to go on a lad's skiing trip every year. I couldn't go on a girls' trip because I didn't have the money to.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. It's so essential.
Yeah.
And it did take us a while because I went from having to rely on John to meeting him and, having my own money. With John, I think it took a while for John to get used to that as well, because it does change you as a person. And some people might say it might even change you for the worst. It's not that like I feel cocky and think, oh, I don't need to dash you. But maybe it went through a little transition period of me thinking, oh, right, I don't need to ask you now. But, that's not respectful to your partner, is it? So, it's about finding the balance.
Yeah. And another one, I really like this podcast is coming up with like a lot of new topics that I've not spoken before. Amazing. This is the big one. What's your thoughts on like agreements, prenups when you get married?
No, I don't. I think if you're getting married, for life.
Right.
And yeah, I wouldn't sign one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sign one, and I wouldn't expect anyone else
to sign one. Even if you had more money, and even if you didn't have both ways, you wouldn't do it.
No, I don't think it's right. If you're entering into marriage, you should be entering into marriage.
Yeah.
I'd be dead insulted if someone asked me to sign one. Yeah, but at the same time...
But not necessarily I leave with what I have and you leave with what you have. More of like it's an agreement.
Well, I think you should... I think, like, say, for example, you had a big house. Say we got married and you had a big house and I never had nothing. If we got divorced, I would walk without... I'm not that type of person to take you to cleaners. Some people do, like...
Yeah.
I could use a big example, but someone that I know, she tried to take how she's still grasping at what she can get, and I just think, wow, love, have a bit of self-respect. Wow, just
so like in that scenario, the guy should have.
Yeah, I think it's not yours. It's never been yours. Count yourself lucky you've had as much money as you've had all this years, but you're still going. You're still going.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's say you had a partner, different partner. Didn't have much. You didn't believe in signing prenups, so you got married, but then he turned into that for whatever reason. You broke up, something out of your control. He had that kind of nasty streak. Would you then have wished you had signed a prenup, or you'd be like, no, that's what I signed up for, and I accept it?
I think it's hard unless you're in that position. It depends. If you had kids, I'd expect them to keep a roof over the kid's head if he had the money. But I don't know until you're in that position. As it stands now, I wouldn't. I wouldn't ask my partner to sign. Well, it depends. If I split up with John tomorrow when I meet someone new and they say, oh, should we get married in a year? I'd be like, yeah, you sign this, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on circumstances.
Yeah.
If you've been with someone 12 years, no.
Yeah.
But
my whole thing on it was that, like, for example,
I can see why footballers would do it. But
yeah, well, no, cool. A lot of footballers maybe have had a girlfriend from when they were young, so they kind of built that. They could be a massive reason of why they were successful. If they had kids,
yeah,
they're playing football. The missus is looking after the kids. So she's done a massive amount.
The same for a businessman, though, isn't it?
And a businessman, yeah,
you know,
of course.
he couldn't go to work and do all that. I've got a friend in London, and he's the nicest fella ever, and she's just so gorgeous. She's Irish, and they've got 2 kids, and she has a great job, a huge job, and she gave it up, and she's looking after the kids. But now super successful, very wealthy, but he wouldn't be the man he is. What did he say? Behind every man is an even greater woman. So, like, she, you know, she's rightfully entitled to it as much as he is. Yeah, he goes and sits at the computer all day. That's the easy bit.
Yeah.
What's not the easy bit is getting the school run,
100%.
Maintain, you know, mental health, going the gym, cooking the tea, having their tea on the table when they come in and they're sulking because they've had the worst day from work, and you've got to mollycoddle around them. Yeah. So I think she deserves it more than him.
No, but a misconception, I think, a prenup means you leave with that's right, that's in your name, and I leave it with what's in my name. Yeah. But I see it as more like just an agreement. If the worst case happens and something does happen, there's an agreement, so it doesn't get nasty. You know, you normally got kids as well, so it's like you're fighting over things while the kids are there. It's not a good experience. Yeah. Whereas like divorce is like would be the hardest thing ever. Let's make it as easy as possible. If it does happen, this is what you get. This is what I get. Are you happy with that? Yes. Yeah. And then put it in the drawer, and it's gone. Yeah. Until it happens, and then if it does happen, you haven't got that added stress of fighting. It's just like, all right, kind of split pass. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I mean.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's a good idea. I thought a prenup was just
it could be anything. It could be anything. Yeah. So I wouldn't agree. You're right. I wouldn't agree with that, but I definitely think an agreement is a good thing to have.
Yeah, definitely an agreement in anything. I've just had the conversation this morning dealing with solicitors regarding a work issue, and I said, what's your fee? I want it in black and white, and he was like, we don't really work like that. So I said, okay, and then I was on the way to school and I was thinking about it in between the Grease songs, and I thought, no, it's not okay. So I just messaged him and said, I need you to be transparent. I might want to go and get a second opinion. Chances are we are going with these solicitors, but just I want it all in black and white. Yeah. And then you know, don't you? So
no, for sure.
We've just had our house rebuilt last year, and part of the thing was I was going to get my own kitchen, and because I had an interior designer, and it was Nicola, you know, been speaking about. She'd done all the interiors, and then she was going to get the kitchen. So I said to them, but yous are going to fit it. So they said, yeah. So I wrote it all down at the beginning, and then come the end of the job, they were like, oh yeah, and then the kitchen fit is X amount. And I was like, oh, let me get my emails back up. There we go, mate. Yeah. And good job, because you know what, we were on good terms, and I didn't, well, why should I have to have that awkward conversation?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's something when I kind of started going into business myself, that's one thing I made the mistake of a few times, doing something with the solicitors, not getting a quote beforehand, and then coming back and be like, oh, by the way, it's $4,000. Yeah. I was like, what? And then I kept making the same mistake over and over again. I was like, look, from now on, I get the quote up front. If I'm happy with it, move forward. And then anything that changes, let me know before you do it, rather than just use your own initiative, like, oh yeah, I'll just do it, and then try and smack the bill on me after, which is important. Okay, one other topic I want to quickly go into before we go into like a quick fire round is what challenges do you feel like you faced more challenges being a woman in business?
No, absolutely not. No.
I like that answer.
Yeah, just the same.
Just the same.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've been, you know, people say business is like very male dominated, and they look down on women sometimes.
I just haven't noticed that, but I don't know whether that's the type of person I am.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I feel like I think it is the type of person you are, because I feel like you're very like
it's a female world.
Yeah.
What men?
Yeah. Because I feel like you're like quite a strong character. So I think a lot of females would maybe come into a room with like a lot of men and feel a bit like daunted. Well, I don't think you have that. You're just like...
No, they're scared of me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's good. So what would you say to maybe women that maybe do feel like that?
Man up, bitch.
Woman up.
Yeah, man up, bitch. 3 words.
Perfect. Cool. All right, let's go into a quick fire round.
Okay.
Let's get your.
Wait, I've got cramps.
You got cramp?
Right, yeah.
You're
This
good.
is another pregnancy ailment, isn't
You got
it?
water, remember?
I've got water.
Yeah,
I've got water. Right, there we go.
All right, cool. Quick fire round. What's the biggest risk you've taken
Ooh.
in business?
This isn't very fiery, is it? Because I'm being very slow and stalling here.
No, that's cool.
The biggest risk, just the whole business in general.
Starting a business.
Yeah, just starting the business, but just not. You know, it is a little bit scary, a little bit daunting. You know, I just had a baby and I needed.
Yeah, so starting a business with a baby,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I'm sure it comes with like financial scares.
Yeah,
You're a bit worried about.
Not worth having comes easy, and you've got to take risks.
Love that.
I don't. Yeah.
Love that. What's the silliest purchase you've made? You've made something you're like, why did I just do that?
That bag, actually, wherever it is. Where is it?
Well, the one you brought?
The one I brought, I went into the Dior in Dubai and they gave me a cup of tea. It weren't even champagne. They did ask me if I wanted champagne. And I went in for these little bracelets and I bought a bag and the shoes to match and the bracelet.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very expensive and then I lost sleep about it for the year. But it's destroyed and I've worn it to death. And John goes, the dearest beach bag on the beach.
How'd you make the decision to make a purchase?
It must have been a nice cup of tea, mustn't it?
They put something in it, didn't they?
I love a cup of tea, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your worst spending habit? Like guilty pleasures that you probably spend too much on that you wish you didn't.
Petrol. Yeah. But it's not a pleasure, let me tell you. Do you know what? I don't spend.
Yeah, you're quite disciplined, aren't you? In terms of
I don't.
You're normally quite happy with the purchases you make. You're not like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I don't really spend stupid money on stupid things. Maybe like I go a bit excessive on holidays, but that's what I want to do, and I'm going to keep spending. In fact, I'm going to put my spends up on holidays.
Love that. We've kind of gone over this a little bit, but we'll go over it again. Advice for mums in business.
Just write everything down, write it on down, and then you can sort out, you know, what's actually important and what you actually need to do, and just about the balance, and also an end goal. You need the end goal in life, otherwise what are you doing? You're just going to be in this rat race forever and you don't actually know where you're going. So you need to figure out the end goal before you even start. Yeah,
nice. Who had the biggest influence on you throughout your business?
But my mum, really, my mum inspires me. My mum and my little girl inspire me every single day. My family, John, my partner, my granddad, my nan. I wish she was here to see it.
So very family oriented.
Yeah, my family, yeah.
Family driven, you are.
Exactly, you know, I've got a brother, I've got a sister, and this is what I want to do is look after them. And one day, my brother was a little bit drunk and he said to me, you know, look at my sister, look what she does for our family. And I thought, sometimes I didn't think he actually really noticed. But he does, and it meant a lot that it took him to be drunk and actually say that. Yeah. And I was just like, oh. And I do, and that's my main priority in life. I want to look after them. I like spoiling them, or, you know, like my brother says, I'm really good to my mum. But it kind of helps him out, or it takes a little bit of pressure off him. Yeah. Because... You know,
what's your thoughts around that, like helping family out, like financially?
Oh my God, why? I'd rather help them out. You know, obviously once you've done your savings and you've got all your money in the bank, etc. That's what it's about. Not even just helping people out.
But is it
especially your family?
Is it like more gifts in terms of helping them out and like doing nice things for them, or is it like to live on?
I'd like to say a bit of both. Well, but my brother phoned me yesterday. There's a ticket there for Paris, £1,400. I went, is the waste of money? I says, offered them £1,000. I went, how long does it have to take you to work to make that? So I'm not like stupid. But say for the other day I asked him, I can't think what he was saying, and I said, oh, he's got these ulcers in his mouth. If any listeners are an ulcer specialist, please contact me. So I said to him, have you got your health insurance check? Again, after the school fees, most important bill is your health insurance. No, I haven't done it. I said, get online now, do it, and I'll put it on my direct debit. I'll pay for it for you. And he said no. And I didn't want to pry and say, put it on. So he knows the offer was there. In fact, I never just asked him once, I've asked him 3 times, and he chose not to for whatever reason, which is absolutely fine. So he doesn't just like take, but it's nice that he can. Or like if he needs to lend money to do something, you know, he doesn't even need to ask me. He can just take it or whatever. He's starting a little business as well, a little clothes business, called 992.
Probably like inspired by you, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And he's starting it, and it's all in the process. So I hope,
Do you reckon you'll be quite hands-on with that in terms of helping him out?
I'll definitely help him out. Yeah, as I say, it's a little bit harder than when I started. We had a lot of help, and when I say a lot of help, you know, we had people around us, and it was a good time for Instagram. It's a little bit harder now, but that's not to say he's not going to do it. And again, with us, we had the sale before we had to buy it. With him, he's got all these MOQs, etc, etc.
Well, he's got a good investor, isn't he?
I'll get him to send you some jumpers actually too, because he's trying to branch out, you know, and send them to people that aren't just from Liverpool, because he wants it to be a national brand, and it looks amazing. Nice.
Last one is, can you recommend me 3 women to bring on the podcast? Part of history, by the way. You're the first woman on.
Well,
so it's only right. You're going to recommend me some more.
If you follow up with Amy Gwynn, she is going to be a very good girl to follow up with. So she owns the UK's largest strip club.
Okay.
Yeah. All these men are going to love that. Wait till you see her. She's gorgeous. She's like a little Barbie doll.
Oh, is he? Yeah, Jordan's going to text Chris and make sure I'm on that one.
Yes, she is gorgeous. She's so lovely. And she's about what messages that she tries to promote is, although sex sells, because it does. I laugh. She's got a big G-Wagon and her husband drives a Rolls Royce.
Really?
So sex certainly sells. But she's trying to promote that doctors and stuff come and do this lap dancing because they just need to earn a living while they're paying for uni, etc. So it's not just seediness as some people may think. Clearly, you know, she's absolutely smashing it. So Amy Gwynn, I will put you in touch.
Number two,
Kate Stewart. Yeah. You know, she's a girl from Liverpool. She's thriving and she's smashing it. She's come from nothing and she's raking it in. And I'm going to say my other 2 good friends, Elliot and Charlotte, they own Tatty Lashes, but they're a bit shy. They shouldn't be doing podcasts because the ones they've done have been amazing. But
so they have done a few?
Yeah, I can't promise you that they will say yes, but I will ask Charlotte in my best voice. Yeah. And let me have a little think. I've got another friend who's amazing. She's not in like an established brand, but I think she should do more. And she's another one of my best friends. Well, 2 of them actually, Jenny Lee and Laura. And Laura does like marketing for food companies. Yeah. And Jenny Lee, she does HR, human resources for big companies. But it's dead, you know, when you actually sit with them and listen to the aspects of the job. Yeah. It's amazing. And they're girl bosses too.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, we definitely need more on.
Definitely.
So that will definitely make that happen.
And I'd love to come back when I'm slim.
We'll come for part 2 for sure. 100%.
Part 2, yeah.
And last thing, I'm asking every guest now to bring an ornament to put on the shelf. You brought one of the books. What is it?
So this book, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, follow them and people will follow you. So basically, it's not my favourite book, but as I say, my favourite book's got all my scribble all over it. But it's a very good book and I love it. And in life, to be a successful person, you can't just blame other people. So sometimes if something goes wrong, you've actually got to look in the mirror and think, right, okay, what have I done? Yeah. And that's basically what this book, to be successful in life, in business, you've got to be a good leader. So that is what this book is about.
Very good note to finish on.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
First female on the Money Game podcast.
My pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you.